my axiom that's taken me many, many, many years to learn my way to, which is if you are treating the stool test results, you are doing yourself or your patients a disservice. What I would recommend doing instead is experimenting with the interventions that can improve gut health. And when you improve, do more of that. And when you don't, do less of that. And there's really four therapies, four tools that I found will resolve issues if it's emanating from the GI in 75% or more of individuals. Diet, probiotics, elemental dieting, and herbal antimicrobials. Now, the diet piece is a controversial one because people have all sorts of thoughts on what diet is the best. I'll just say this. If you're on the right diet for your gut, you'll see improvements usually within 2 to 3 weeks. And there's two general approaches. One, a basic elimination diet that focuses on food quality and cutting out common triggers. I think a relaxed paleo template is a great place to start. You could perhaps argue for a Mediterranean diet. I think it's less important the specific diet. It's more important that you focus on whole, fresh foods and reduce common irritants like gluten, grains, and processed foods. Not forever. Those foods will not be a problem for most people as they improve their gut health, but as a starting point to eliminate and then reintroduce. Now, again, 2 or 3 weeks, that's either helping or it's not. If it's not, trial a low FODMAP diet. And again, if that's helping, you'll know within 2 to 3 weeks. And whatever diet's helping, continue. And if diet's not helping, then the issue may not be diet. And I said way back in Healthy Gut, Healthy You, be careful not to force a dietary solution to what might not be a dietary problem. So step 1, diet. And by the time you went in, picked up a stool test, brought it home, performed it, sent it in the mail, it got to the lab processed it, and then you had a chance to discuss it with your healthcare provider, you could already be well into this experimentation and maybe even moving on to step 2, which is probiotics. Again, this is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. There's 3 general types. There's your very traditional lactobacillus and bifidobacterium blend. Alternatively, there's Saccharomyces boulardii. And alternatively to that, there's a soil-based probiotic, some type of bacillus species. You can try one, you can try all 3. Just depends on how strong of a probiotic protocol you want to use. But if a probiotic is helping, you'll know within 4 weeks. And recent research is indicating that people will pinnacle from probiotics usually by the 2nd to 3rd month. And then depending on how those are helping you, if not completely, you can then do a reset with an elemental diet. And then finally consider herbal antimicrobial therapy. Why this is so much more effective is because these interventions will help with pretty much all of the things that the functional stool tests are assessing. And as you've seen, assessing in a really inconsistent fashion. If you have leaky gut, IBS or IBD, we know that dietary changes can help with all of those. In fact, further yet still, a low FODMAP diet can even reduce levels of gas. So many, if not most, of these issues can at least be helped to some extent by diet. Probiotics can combat SIBO, Candida, we shared leaky gut, can reduce IBS, can reduce IBD, and may even help with things like cognition and skin. Elemental diets have been shown to combat SIBO, IBS, IBD, and may even help with distal involvement, things like rheumatoid arthritis. And then finally, herbal antimicrobials, some systematic review and or comparative meta-analyses have found that herbal therapies are as effective as many IBS or gut-mediated pharmaceuticals, whether they be for constipation, antispasmodics for IBS, or even antimicrobials for SIBO. So, because these natural agents will impact many or most of the markers that you test for, it's much more expeditious and intelligent to just trial the therapies and build your own protocol in a stepwise fashion and save the money and save the time that you would spend and use for the testing while realizing that the testing results are very inconsistent, and you're more likely to get a care plan that's targeted toward the test results and not toward you and what your system needs. And again, when you understand and you see how inconsistent the results are across tests, you see how important it is that we shift our paradigm from one of treating the tests to one of treating the individual. With the exception if you have an acute issue, and then this is where conventional medicine does a great job in helping determine what path you should take.